So the title has given away what I've just bought, and being this is my very first video of 2021, well, it just had to scream G-Shock. It's also my very first carbon core guard I now own. Before I waffle your ears off, I need to firstly thank my friends at Watcho for another fantastic service, offering an extra year's warranty, as if Casio needs it. And also to my buddy at StormRider, who has some amazing thinking behind G-Shocks. But the main culprit for pulling the trigger is subscriber Jorge, I hope I pronounced that right, who gave me his feedback on his Gravity Master variant, teasing me what it can offer. Let's kick off with the Casios that share the same module, and this is a side I chatted to Jorge about. So cheers buddy for the emails and insight. So it's a cosmetic thing. Do you fancy helicopters with buttons like missile triggers, kayaking, hiking and camping? Or are you a dirty guy like me that's rough and likes big buttons? The Gravity Master is a model I already own with the WUP69, but after watching G-Shock High Fashion's review, almost tipped me. But the helicopter pilot theme isn't what I travel in, which is making me wear flying stripes I don't deserve. The ProTrek is the more compact version of the three, but as I'm more harsher on how I use my outdoor watches, this doesn't have the extra shock resistance needed. Let me explain in more detail why I chose this Mudmaster. I've had many comments saying when am I going to review the Master of G GWG1000. Well, it will come. The GWG1000 would be bought upon looks, being the most honest. For me, that's not always the reason why I choose G-Shocks. It has to offer something over my other G-Shocks to have place. And from my researching, this B100 offers some very granted wishes. For many, it's the deal breaker. This B100 isn't solar, and it doesn't use atomic. So here's a little window to explain my thinking. Let me explain something that you're overlooking. Solar is fantastic. It's mainly because you want low maintenance. It's also with regards to being savage with usage. And the atomic signal is a big drain on the battery reserves. Atomic is also not received in Australia. So charging the watch with light keeps you topped up with button presses. So with this B100, it's using a very low powered engine, and Bluetooth uses far less power to sync. There's a balance in both. But replacing a battery every 2 years? You have to look at the positive side. Remember that gaskets dry out on the exposed edge and become less watertight. So replacing the battery every few years will also keep check on the gasket's condition. As in most solar G-Shocks, the gasket is left untouched for 15 years plus. You see, there's always positive reasons. And for me, this gives me more security knowing it's correctly sealed. Now another reason why I didn't go with the GWG1000 is the crown. You see, when I'm using my Golfmaster and say I'm kayaking, pulling the crown out when it's wet kinda makes me not want to do it. And for those GWG Mudmasters out there, how many are not happy when it's covered in dust and mud, having to pull out the crown to adjust the timer, for example? The B100 is all push buttons, and compared to the other three, this has all metal buttons. I hope this is showing you the strengths. Now I need to address the quirks and what this beauty can do. Being its composite fibered body using a carbon bezel makes it very light at 92 grams. And while on the measuring, this watch has a case size of 53.1 millimeters, lug to lug of 55.4, and it's a chunky boy at 19.3. The one thing everyone mentions that own the GGB100 is the experience on the wrist. They may not be happy it's lacking solar, but being comfortable is what they all agree upon. I'm not a huge fan of design by adding fake bezel screws. Maybe this offers more protection, but it's like having a diver's style bezel that's fixed. And while the GWG1000 uses fake bezel screws, this GGB100 doesn't. These 4 exposed screws fix the bumpers to the carbon bezel to the composite case. Here's a side that will shift your mindset. You can operate and adjust features using the Bluetooth, like the daily alarm. If you're like me and want to adjust multiple alarms at once to remind you of a few watch auctions, then this is all done via Bluetooth. Not even my Phoenix 6 Pro has this convenience. You can also do it at night and not get into a backlight wall with the watch. Now for the biggest reason, it uses location finder using your connected device's GPS. It also tells you the distance to your saved location. So this is great when you begin a new hike. The other side of functionality is the barometer sensor. This to me is one of the most accurate features on any standalone ABC watch. Prediction of the weather changes are very important when exploring outdoors, but the B100 takes it further. For an example, you can have graphs showing 20 minutes, 1 hour, 20 hours, or a whopping 56 hours worth. Plus it has the borough warning to alert you of sudden changes to air pressure. I'm now going to explore further, and when I return, you'll have a very comprehensive tutorial. As always, thanks for watching.